Hey everybody, Dr. Krista here. Hope you're having a great weekend. Hey, today I wanted to share with you some examples of active sitting. One of the things that we recommend greatly at the American Posture Institute to improve NEAT and to have more active movements throughout the day is to have active sitting options. So I want to go through with you guys some of my favorite active sitting options, and another reason I want to share these with you is because they're very inexpensive. So I think a lot of sometimes holding clients back from making that ergonomic step within their workplace is that they think it's going to cost them thousands and thousands of dollars. And it definitely can, and there is great equipment that is worth that price and worth that value. I'm not saying it's not worth it, but what I'm saying is these are really good options that cost a lot less money that are very easy for implementation. So with active sitting then, it means that we can move across multiple ranges of motion, plus we can increase activity. And we have, because what tends to happen, if you're sitting in a normal chair that holds you upright against gravity without you needing to hold yourself upright, then you don't have to be active with your muscular engagement. And so we completely relax the muscles, and it's not at all a workout during the day, plus we have stiffened range of motion. So we have less ranges of motion because the chairs don't move. So these are some good options. The first here is I'm holding an exercise or a posture cushion. So posture cushions are really good. We give them to everybody at the American Posture Institute. They should be sitting on them because as they do, it's an unstable surface. So as I'm sitting on this unstable surface, I'm able to move from side to side and front and back and diagonal and do rotations. So I can be completely actively engaging my core and engaging my brain as well. The reason being is because of a vestibular system, which controls our postural stability and postural equilibrium, is part of our neurologic system. And as I change my body position against gravity, then it stimulates my brain to hold my body upright. And so when you sit on these unstable surfaces, then it's going to be a good activation of the brain to keep the body upright. So this is the first recommendation. And what I like about this is I'm going to show you a couple different exercise balls. And some people say, you know, I love the idea of an exercise ball, but it's not realistic in my workplace. And I don't blame them. It isn't realistic work in every single workspace. But a posture cushion is a great way of having active sitting without having to have an exercise ball. So it's much more discreet, and it's easy to pick up and move, and it's just easy to bring with you. Okay, it's very transportable. So good first option is a posture cushion. Next is just having an exercise ball. So just a normal exercise ball like this, you can get it for, you know, anywhere between $10 and $30 at any stores. Oh, also posture cushions I think are about $30. And these are just, you can utilize them for multiple different exercises first of all. But in addition to that, being seated on an exercise ball is very active. So if you watch me as I'm seated, then I have to hold my body upright, okay? Because if I start to slouch and I get lazy, and if I go into an anterior hip translation, which is one of the most common postural distortion patterns, then I could fall off the chair. And because I'm seated on this exercise ball, look how naturally you just move more. So I'm actually moving in multiple ranges of motion as I'm sitting here, okay? It's such a good option because as you do this, it's just more and more movement throughout the day, which we know that we need if we want to offset sitting disease. And then lastly, I wanted to show you this option, and this is what I use at my desk because for me, it's very impractical every time I stand up to have the ball go rolling, you know, through the office. However, this is the perfect solution because I still want to have that active sitting, and I can sit on the exercise ball. This has a support behind it. Usually I don't, you can also have it without the support. You don't always, this comes in and off, so it could just be a basis support down here with the back piece there or not, depending upon the preference. And what's good about it is I can, as I'm sitting here, I have all of the movement that I would on a normal exercise ball, but when I stand up, it stays in place. So it's a normal chair in the sense that it's not going to go rolling around the office. It looks more discreet than just an exercise ball by itself. And it prompts me that when I can do functional movements, it's very easy to do so. So what we commonly see when people have normal chairs that are immovable is that they hoist themselves up and plop back down. This type of movement. So they're in this position, and when they go to stand up, they put their weight, their hands, on their knees or on the armrest, and they push themselves up. And then when they sit down, it's more of a plopping motion, so it's more like this, okay? It's very uncontrolled. With this option here, because I know that the exercise ball isn't going to roll away when I do it, I can easily stand up, I can easily sit down. And I'm engaging my musculature as I do it. I'm not hoisting myself up and trying to use my upper body. I can easily do squats. And if we're mindful of of our musculature every time that we go from sitting to standing and standing to sitting, then that again increases more and more NEAT activation throughout the day to help burn more calories, prevent obesity, and to help with sitting disease. So again, this is my personal favorite option. I think that these are about $90 on Amazon. So again, this is not a hugely expensive option. Less expensive is the exercise ball, which is about 10 to 15 to 30. Posture cushions are about 30. And then if you want to get the frame for an exercise ball here, then it's about 90. And they're very easily maneuverable, as well as putting them together is very low maintenance. So this is a really good option for having more active sitting. And you can see all the different ranges of motion that I can do here too. So it just prompts more movement throughout the day. Really great selection. And again, I just don't want it to be something that holds your clients back from taking action based upon, that they have the perception that it's going to cost them so much money to make these ergonomic implementation recommendations. So these are great options you can utilize for active sitting.